is your stinky, stanky, stunky mystery box. Good luck, you are going to need it. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. Today is the last mystery box of 2023. I can hardly believe it. Now the December mystery box is a little different than the rest of them. First of all, it's the first Friday of the month, and so the last Friday, as you probably can tell. And second, it's the random act of kindness mystery box. So for the twist this month, I've asked all of these wonderful YouTubers to do a random act of kindness. Now some of them may share it on camera, some of them may prefer to keep it private, and that's totally fine, but that was the mission and everyone accepted it. Now I'll tell you a little more about mine later on in the video. And as far as the theme of the box goes, it's Dollar Tree. Now, inside the box, there are those 2 wrap challenge items, and I decided that I wasn't gonna let this box just go off kind of easy. So I put some guidelines on those 2 challenge items. One of the challenge items has to relate to automobiles. The second one is Grinch themed. Now, it doesn't have to come from the movie. The item just has to start with either the letter G, R, I, N, C, or H. So I sent my box over to
Courtney. I thought we were really trying to establish a friendship here. Seriously? No clue what I'm gonna do with these. If you got these items, do you have an idea when you bought them, what you would do with them? Were you thinking like, oh, I know what I would do with these? I gotta know.
Kelly, in case you can't tell. And I got my box from Wendy at White Sparrow Living. So let's dive into the box and see what Wendy sent me. I opened my box and this is what I see on top. So let me see. Got a, oh, it looks like a sweet card. Okay, how do I open this? There we go. Oh, did you make this, Wendy? It's so cute. First of all, I didn't make this card. Okay, that's okay. A kind viewer, Bryn, made me some to give out to special peeps like you. Oh, that is so sweet. Great job, Bryn, on the card. That is just so cute. Very nice job. Merry Christmas, sweet Courtney. Happy last mystery box challenge of 2023. What a year it has been. Thank you for including me, and I look forward to many more years of fun episodes. I love your heart, Wendy Sue. God is love. That is so cute. That is a gorgeous card. And aw. And then there's this sweet little bookmark that says, be the light. Love that. There we go. Thank you, Wendy. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay, let's see if her sweetness continues. Challenge item number 1 to go with the automobile theme, it says. Oh, goodness. Okay. Challenge item 2, Grinch. And she has circled H on there, so. And then this says, oh, this says Courtney. Is this a present for me? Oh. How cute. Look at your wrap job, man. Always my mother. Oh, forever my friend. Is this for my mom's shelf? Oh. That's really sweet. Let's see what Wendy sent me. Let's see some good things in here. This is cute. A little basket with a real nice gold trim on it. Patriotic sign with the red truck. Oh, this is cute. This little Christmas tree plush. This is one of those swipey things. Oh, swipe up, swipe down, swipe up, swipe down. This is really cute. This is like a stress reliever. It's like a stress ball for creative people. Cute little Santa. Okay, these items, I think I'm gonna get blasted for if I destroy these. All right, we got some nice bulbs here. Those are cute ornaments. Peace sign, peace. A wine bottle bag that looks, oh, it's a Santa with a little Santa hat. And the truck. They call this a tray. Go figure. Okay, it's a tray. All right. I'm not mad at any of these items, Wendy. Very good, very good. Challenge item number 1. This goes with the automobile theme. Oh dear. Oh no, Wendy. No, Wendy. No, no, no. Okay, actually this is not terrible. It's a funnel for the auto. This isn't bad. This isn't bad because you know what this looks like? A Christmas tree, kind of. Okay, this is not terrible. I'm not hating this. You were nice. You were nice. Okay, I think I can handle that. All right, challenge item 2, Grinch with an H. So this item starts with an H. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Okay. Oh. It is green, so there's bonus points for that. It's a soaker hose. A hose. Okay, the fact that it's green though, that's promising. Okay. Overall, I think you were pretty nice, Wendy. I'm gonna have to say, I think you're pretty nice. I'm gonna take a couple days to think on this. It'll be 2 seconds your time. Let's get crafting. For this project, I'm gonna be working with the peace sign that Wendy sent me. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is a little DIY surgery. We want to actually cut out the word peace out of this sign. So I'll be using my hobby knife to get that done. And I have to say, the whole time I was doing this, last week, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you won't know this, but I broke my toe, basically Christmas decorating. I kind of had an episode on my stairs. And so I guess I'm still coming off that dumb, clumsy injury. And so the whole time I was doing this, I was literally just saying, please don't cut your fingers off. Please don't cut your fingers off. But it actually wasn't that hard to do. My recommendation, just score the word and then the hobby knife actually cut through very, very easily. Now that the word was off, there were a little bit of remnants along the edge of this frame. So just get your Geppetto game on, do a little whittling. It shaved off very easily. And then I just took some sandpaper and gave it a very light sanding. And to my surprise, it actually didn't damage the wood like grain look on this little outside piece. And then you need to remove the back. So I grabbed my heat gun, heated up the back, and used a paint scraper, and it popped off very nicely. Now you want to grab yourself an acetate sheet. You're probably thinking, where the heck am I supposed to get that? Well, I ordered mine from Amazon. I will definitely link it down below along with everything else in today's video, so just check down there. And I sized it so that it's going to fit inside of this frame. Now you could use a ruler and measure all this and size it, or just grab a Sharpie marker and just mark it and then trim it down with your scissors or your favorite paper cutter. Once it's trimmed down, this does have a film on both sides, so make sure you remove that. And then I'm just using my glue gun to get this attached to the inside of this frame. Now we want to work on the back part of this frame. So I grabbed my box that has all my Christmas themed scrapbook paper. I will say most of my scrapbook paper comes from Hobby Lobby. I went through it, found one that I liked. Now you certainly could grab fabric for this next part as well if you wanted to, or you could even just paint it, totally up to you. And we're gonna attach this, just size it down. I used a good old-fashioned glue stick to get this attached to the back. And then working with the front part of this, it's time to get some fairy lights in there. So I'm just using a little bit of hot glue and I'm just running these in the edge, just kind of attacking them down and just basically going around and around until all the fairy lights have been used up. I wanted a little Merry Christmas sign to go inside of this, so I did a little paper crafting. Now, I found an image on Cricut Design Space, and I just separated it and cut the background with white cardstock, and then did the letters with the glitter cardstock, arranged them on here, and then used some of these little 3D adhesive sticker things. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a paper crafter. Kudos to you if you are, because this is very time consuming. I don't know. It takes a lot of patience, and I had fun doing it, but it does take a while. So I got these little stickers attached so that the letters would kind of stick off and give off a whole 3D element. I glued down my Merry Christmas sign with just a little bit of hot glue, and then grabbed some of these wooden trees from Dollar Tree that I had in my stash and used a green paint pen to color them green. Once those were dry, then I took a white paint pen and just added some little snow features to each of these trees. And again, I did 3 trees total. Finishing this puppy up, we're going to attach those trees that we just colored. I'm going to put 2 on one side and 1 on the other, just using a little bit of hot glue and gluing them to the base of the inside of this frame. And then once that was done, I took some of this glitter snow that I had in my stash from Dollar Tree, sprinkled that in there along the bottom, and then just hot glued that back piece on. And now I've made myself a little lighted Merry Christmas shadow box. I will be using the sequin Christmas tree and the cute little basket for this next DIY. So what I decided to do was I wanted to make a cute little candy dish. I really didn't want to destroy this tree, so I started first by cutting a little slit at the bottom. I wanted to stuff it a little bit more, just make it really, really full. So I did that and just put a bunch of old pillow fluff in there because that's usually what I use. Once that was in there, I grabbed a large popsicle stick that I had in my stash. It came from Walmart originally. Cut off the tip of it with my miter shears and then secured that into the tree, put a little glue at the end and just kind of shoved it in the back of the tree so that I could hot glue this tree onto the basket. In true Courtney fashion, I had to add some more stuff. You certainly could leave it like this. I think it would look really cute if you just, simple is just sometimes best, but I couldn't do that. So I grabbed these presents that I had in my stash. They came from Dollar Tree, 2 gold presents, and I just hot glued 1 to each side. They stuck on really easily just to the basket as well as the tree. And then of course, with it being a Christmas tree, I was like, it needs a star. So I grabbed one of my wooden stars that I got in a huge pack from Hobby Lobby, and I painted it with my favorite gold metallic paint that I told you all about a couple videos ago. Hot glued that to the top, and now I've made myself a cute little candy dish. You could fill this up with whatever kind of candies. It's a great little gift, especially for a coworker, maybe even a teacher. Just some special little candies. You could add a gift card in there. You know, you could take it many different ways, but I do really love how this one turned out. Onto the wine bottle bag that looks like Santa's jacket with the little hat. This actually, there were 2 items in the box that really had me stuck. And this was one of them. It was one of the last projects I tried to do, and I just could not come up with something. If you've got an idea for this, please drop it down below. I would love to know. But what I did is I started by cutting off the top of this little bag, and I thought, okay, I can slip this over a mason jar. So that's what I did. I cut off the top, kind of trimmed it, and then just hot glued the bag to the very top of the mason jar. Once the suit was attached, I grabbed a piece of this little white fluff. So this was from the top that I cut off. I cut off a strip of that and then just hot glued that to the top to kind of finish off that edge and make it look nice. Now you want to take the pieces of the lid along with more of that top piece, and I wanted to glue some more of this white down. Now I couldn't get it exactly to fit, so I had to cut 2 strips, hot glued it to this little metal plate insert. It may have a technical name, but we're just going to call it metal plate insert. And I trimmed around it once I got it hot glued on there, and then the little Santa hat that came with this, I just put some glue at the bottom of it and hot glued that to our little metal plate insert. The last finishing touch was just to add a little bell to the end. This was just in my stash from Dollar Tree, and grab some fairy lights, stick them in there, and now you have a cute little Santa lamp lantern thing. I don't really know. I mean, you know, you could put candy in there. It could be a candy jar with lights in it. That could be fun too. But yeah, I just really didn't have much of an idea for this. So if you've got one, drop it down below. I've wrangled these two items from the box together for this next project. I'll be using this Santa and the God Bless America sign. Now, the Santa, honestly, I just didn't want to have another like elf decapitation or Barbie, head transplant that I've done on my channel. So I'm trying very hard to be nice to the Santa. I started by taking off the little hanging truck, and then I just wanted a piece of this metal sign. Felt a little awkward cutting the words in the sign, but I used my tin snips to cut the inside off. And just be very careful if you decide to make a project like this, because that metal is sharp. Once I cut it, I grabbed some green plaid fabric that I had in my stash. It came from Hobby Lobby, and I used some hot glue just to cover up that metal piece. Now I've got my little sign. I did add some red velvet ribbon around the edges. I bought 2 huge rolls of it on Amazon for like $8. It was such a good deal. And I used my Cricut to cut out a little phrase here that says, "You better watch out, you better not pout." And I just did it on iron-on vinyl, and I pressed that down onto my sign. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, you definitely could just get some wooden letters. You could paint something on here. There's a lot of options for you. You don't have to have a Cricut for this step. Once that was done, I was ready to kind of finish off this little Santa. To get the little sign attached, all I did was take some hot glue and just glued Santa's little hands, making it look like he was holding the sign. And then the last thing I did, I'm just not a fan of buffalo check, so I wanted to change his hat. I grabbed some fabric that I had in my stash. It came from Hobby Lobby, and just kind of, worked around, hot glued it here, hot glued it there to make it look good. And then once that was finished, that's it. My Santa's all done. Sequin bulb ornaments. This project escalated very quickly. It started off as something and then it changed to something else, but y'all, this may be my favorite project from this box. You guys will have to let me know what you think, but let me show you kind of where I was going with it and then what happened. So I started by taking the bulbs and a piece of that the metal handle from that little patriotic sign. And what I thought was, you know what, I'm going to take this little container I had from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to turn this into a really cute, like Frosty snowballs, like 5 cents, and put these little snowball things in there and make like a little decor piece, right? So I took the ornaments and I kind of made a slit at the bottom portion, and I hot glued them to the sides of this little bucket thing from Dollar Tree, and then used the blue part of that patriotic sign as the handle. And so I got it assembled. I looked at it and I thought, all I'm seeing are earmuffs. Like, I felt like the bulbs ornament little handle thing, it just looked like earmuffs. So this is where the project turned, and I really love the direction it went. Here's where I'm at. So the first thing I needed to do was to take this off of the bucket. So I used my heat gun to kind of heat up the glue and pull off my little light bulb things. I tried to repair them a little bit, but I figured out a different way to do that later on. I grabbed some white felt, and using the little light bulb earmuffs as a guide, I started to cut a shape of a snowman head. So I need 2 pieces of white felt about the same, not about the same size, the same size. And once I got those trimmed to the size I needed, I hot glued them together along the edge, and then I turned it inside out. I had this white ribbon with silver glittery snowflakes sitting on my table, and I looked at the edge and it was kind of this metal wired metallic thing. So I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to use to fix the base of my light bulbs. So I just cut off the edge of the ribbon pieces and just hot glued that around the base to make it, I don't know, not look so janky where I had cut up the bottom of the light bulbs. You want to stuff the snowman head with some stuffing. Don't do it all the way to the bottom. You want to kind of leave a little bit of a space to make it easy to attach this. And then this is where we're at. We've got this clear bucket. We've got our stuffed snowman head. We have a piece of felt that I cut into 4 equal strips, and we have our little bulb earmuffs. Now what we need to make are the arms for the snowman. So I'm just freehanding those, and I just cut, to make it kind of look like a little thumb and like an arm. And then I just hot glued those together. I did not turn these inside out. And then I also stuffed the arms, making sure to leave a little bit at the end where there was no stuffing. Now let's bring this little thing together. I took the two arms and I started by gluing both of those together with some hot glue, and then I attached that to the top of the bucket, just anchoring it with hot glue all along. And then from there, I needed to glue on my little earmuffs to the head of the snowman, as well as cut out some eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I just used black felt and orange felt for that, glued that down to the face, glued the head to the back of this little bucket, and tied a ribbon around it for a scarf. My final touch was I took some alcohol preps and just kind of wiped the container, and then I cut out snowflakes on my Cricut to attach to it. And now I have made the cutest little snowman gift container. You could fill it with all kinds of, hot cocoa gift, or just put a present in there. But then it can also, again, be used as a decor piece if you choose. And here is the truck tray that was sent to me. Y'all, this actually was the hardest item for me to come up with the project. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what? The challenge items, let's just not even fold those into this, that they have their own issues, but I got so stumped on this. So I thought, what can I do with this? So my first initial thought was, you know what? I'm just going to add little beads to the bottom, and it's just going to be a cookie tray as is. But I was like, nope, that's not good enough. So let's turn this into a gingerbread truck. So I painted it with some of my favorite Restore Deco Art paint. And then I grabbed some of these little wooden pieces that I got in a set from Hobby Lobby. I grabbed out some of the candy canes along with the gingerbread. And then I also had some half wooden circles. I used paint pens to color these in. And for that little half wooden circles, I just tried to make them look like peppermints. With the embellishments all done, it was time to try to make this truck look like a gingerbread truck. So I took my paint pen and I just kind of, did squiggly wigglies and dots and just filled it in to try to make it look gingerbready. And then it was time for me to glue on my embellishments. The little half wooden circles I glued on to be hubcaps, glued down the candy canes, and the gingerbread cookie got glued down. And then I didn't use my Cricut, so I mentally prepared my brain to freehand this. Every time I do something freehanded, I way overthink it and do I practice writing in air with a pencil, and then I make it way longer than it needs to be. But I decided just to freehand Ginger's Bakery on it, and then that's it. My little gingerbread truck is finished.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night.
kids, I just want to remind you that our job here on earth is to spread love to other people.
Spring from heaven afar, heavenly hosts singing Alleluia. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born.
And now we move into the challenge items. So I'm going to start with the automobile themed challenge item, this little funnel. And like I said in my unboxing, it just reminded me of a Christmas tree. So I peeled off the sticker. I grabbed some green pipe cleaners that I got in a huge pack from Amazon, and I started to cut them into thirds. Once those were cut, I needed to wrap my funnel with some felt because I am going to turn this into a Christmas tree, and I kind of wanted to get it a little bit more shaped like a cone. Now, with the cone ready to go, you want to take your pipe cleaners, fold them in half, and then you're going to start to glue them. Now, you don't want to glue them all the way closed. I mean, you can if you want to, I guess, but I kind of left the bottoms open so that I could make little loops and kind of, bend them how I wanted to. Start on the bottom and work your way up. You're just going to keep going around and around and around. Now, there was a very common theme while doing this craft. If you follow me on Instagram, I talked about my fingertips there. And while this is the project that did it, here's a few sound bites of what was going down while I was making this project. Don't burn yourself, because it's easy to do. If you have those little silicone fingers, you might want to use those. Smoosh and burn. Smoosh, smoosh, and burn. Hey, yeah, smoosh and burn. Smoosh and burn your fingers. Ow. Ooh, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Just go inferno, burn, baby, burn. Do not do as I do, which is to burn the bejeebies out of your fingers. Don't really know what to say to this, other than, good job, me. Ouch. I have those dumb silicone things. Why don't I just put them on? Why don't I just put them on and stop being a ding-dong about this? Just use these. Don't be dumb like me and burn your fingers for fun, because it's really not that much fun to burn your fingers. Unless you just like burning yourself. This is like cutting off circulation to my thumb. I'd rather burn my thumb. Ooh, ooh, burn, burn, burn. Well, this stupid silicone thing is working really well. I just burned my finger anyway. Ow, 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 ow. So, as you can tell, there was a lot of burning going on. It went all the way till the very tippy top of the tree. Trust me, I tried like using silicone spatulas. Maybe I need to just get some silicone fingers that actually fit. But I absolutely love how it turned out. So I just continued all the way up to the very tip, and then I decided to just leave this as is. I definitely feel like you could wrap some fairy lights in between each of the layers of the pipe cleaners if you wanted to, or even add small tiny little ornaments. But the pipe cleaners kind of give it that whole velvet feel, which I know is trending this year, all those velvet ornaments. So I absolutely love how this little tree turned out. And I have to say, this challenge item, I think I tackled it. What do you think? And now we move on to that second challenge item, the green soaker hose. So this project actually went through 3 different ideas. My first idea was to make one of those like zigzag trees. Like I did this, I think last year with ribbon, where you kind of just like zigzag it back and forth. I was going to feed these colored fairy lights into the soaker hose because you could feed it down into the tube. And so I started to kind of do that and make the little zigzag thing, and I was going to make a whole sign. And then I was like, I don't really like this idea. So this idea went to a worse idea, which was to cut up the soaker hose into tiny little pieces and just thinking that this next idea was going to work and try to make it into a wreath. And so I had these little mini wreath things that I got from Hobby Lobby quite a while ago. And as I started to cut tiny little pieces of this and glue it on here, all it made me feel like was it's like turning into some kind of Oscar the Grouch, like goes crazy kind of ornament thing. And there was no wreath vibes about that. It just looked like, you know, a kindergarten craft where the kids just like take random objects and glue them together and are like, hey, look at this artwork I made, Mom. Isn't it so pretty? So I was like, no, this is not going to work. So at that point, I was like, okay, I got to grab a canvas. And now that I have these tiny pieces, I'm going to go back to my plan of making it a tree, but just try a different approach. So this is where we're at on this project. I took those fairy lights and made a very loose Christmas tree shape and tacked them down with some hot glue. Then taking my little pieces of soaker hose, I hot glued those down and tried to make it look like a Christmas tree shape at some point. I will say it was very cool that the lights were shining through and it did give off like a stained glass vibe. So it actually, you know, it was actually pretty cool looking. I always wonder on these challenge item crafts, has anyone actually ever made any of my challenge item crafts? Because I'm just curious. Like, let me know in the comments if you've actually made one, because I always feel like the challenge items, you just never know. But once it was shaped like a Christmas tree, then I was ready to add a few embellishments to it just to make it a little more festive. So as you just saw, I'm cutting some of these mini red ornaments from Dollar Tree and gluing them down. I glued 5 of these down and then took some more of those little presents, also from Dollar Tree, and glued those to the bottom. Now this is where I should have left well enough alone, but hey, what's the fun in that? So I decided to add a little kind of ribbon looking thing in the corner. I don't really feel like it needed that, but you know, it is me after all, and I just don't ever seem to know when to stop. So I did add that to the corner, and then that's it. I left my very unique little stained glass Christmas tree, and I'm not hating it. Like, I honestly am a little surprised that it actually kind of turned out and looks pretty cute, especially at night when it's lit up. That wraps up the last mystery box of 2023. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite. Also, as I always ask you, let me know what would you have done with those 2 challenge items, the soaker hose and the car funnel. I have got some fun, fresh, new ideas for next year. It'll be year 5 of the mystery box. I can't wait for you to see what I have in store. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos you might enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.